I have a Dillon Panther state championship ring. There were only a handful made. I own it to this day, man. Everybody's jealous. I think there was only like 20 of them made, and I have one. I'm going to get buried with my ring.
Yeah, you are.
Just put it around my neck again. One last time.
Put it on your toe.
One last time. Husband, father, state champion.
Fake state champion. Make believe state champion Scott Porter. Go ahead, Scott. Take the ball. Run with it.
I'd never done anything on TV. Friday Night Lights was my first thing. It was the 5th pilot I auditioned for. And it was really cool because I'm a massive football fan. We got to go 3 weeks early for the people that were playing football in the pilot. And we had like the coaches from Compton College come out, and we were going through quarterback school. And it was so cool. And I played football in high school and college, and it just took me back to those days. It still didn't stop our first AD, Casey Hodenfeld, from calling me 2 weeks before we started shooting, panicking. Scott, we never asked you, can you throw a football? I was like, I got you, man. I got you. I can do it. Zach needed all the coaching, though.
No, I was fine. I didn't play as much as Scott, but I could play football.
Whoa, man, can this kid throw the ball?
Pretty much all of us could play football.
Yeah.
There were some people who weren't as good as others.
They shall remain unnamed.
But that's what, I mean, helmets are great for doubles.
Yeah?
They're great. It's wonderful.
Zach showed up actually early in the season, and he didn't have a place to live, so he crashed on my couch for what, the first month?
Yeah, it was great. I was crashing on a couch for a month, saved some money, found my own place. Pretty much everyone was living in the same housing complex, and within that month, I realized I wanted to live on the other side of town. Not long into the season, there was plenty of drama, and I had nothing to do with any of it. It was great.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a team. It really was. We were shooting in Austin, Texas, and it just felt like it was just us against.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
else.
We all were kind of like in the same age range, and like pretty much everyone a little bit out of college age, and so it was a fun time to kind of like have a second college experience if you'd already been to college, or a college experience if you weren't there. And unlike a lot of shows, because we were shooting in Austin, that we were who we knew, and we gradually knew other people. A lot of that became the crew, which became very like a big family, which was fun. And it was just like a really unique and special experience. Getting to like, go to work and just throw a football around all the time. Until my next job, I never realized how much downtime we filled playing catch.
Yeah.
Because then you're on set and you're like, well, what do I do? There's no ball here.
Yeah, after we did Friday Night Lights, I took a football with me pretty much to every single set that I was on for the next decade. And it would just it just felt natural. And then inevitably somebody on the crew is going to want to pick it up, toss it around between takes.
There was a point in season 2 where our line producer tried to put a moratorium on throwing the ball around if it wasn't for a scene because someone had gotten hit with one. And it just you're like, there's so many balls around. How do we not play catch? So no one really got hurt. A couple people got hit in the head, but it's fine.
The beginning of the process was really cool though, because the day that a lot of us tested for our roles, for everybody out there who doesn't know, the network and the studio call their top couple of choices together, and you sit in a room and it's so nerve-wracking, and it's usually just for your role, and you stare at the other 3 or 4 people that are there, and your legs going, you're like, okay, who's gonna get it? This is a competition.
The whole reenactment here.
But when we did it, I think there was 5 or 6 roles all at the same time. It was Julie Taylor.
Hey, Matt.
It was Landry Clark.
Are you even gonna play at all?
Matt Saracen.
I'm the backup quarterback.
Lila Garrity.
It's all my fault.
Tyra.
Yeah?
And Jason Street.
Here's the real friends in Texas.
There was
It's this huge conference room at Universal, and you're all just like, well, I hope you guys get the job. I hope you don't, because that would mean I don't. But it was awkward. I gave him a ride home from it.
He did. He gave me a ride home in his dad's Subaru Outback.
Yep. Well, I stole it. It was mine. I hadn't stolen it yet. I drove it out to Texas.
No, you borrowed it and didn't tell him he was never getting it back.
Yeah, well, there was no end date on the borrowing negotiations.
There you go.
So that's his fault. He was a lawyer. He should have known better.
When he came down for the pilot, he was the only one of us that had a car. He drove himself down.
Yeah.
And so it became the community car. Everybody was calling Zach while we were shooting the pilot, hey, can I have the Outback today?
I drove Scott to some nerd comic book store to play nerd chess.
Yes, you did. Hero clicks for the win.
Chess is cool. This is nerd comic book chess. It's kind of crazy, in that room, the people who got cast all kind of had a good vibe from each other. And we all secretly were like, I hope it's that person and that person. We kind of, in the car, we kind of were like, well, based on just sitting in a conference room with these people, I hope this person, and we called everyone except me. Well, I didn't know they didn't want me. I got invited to default. They couldn't make the dates work with the person they wanted, and they ran out of time, and they had to hire me because they didn't have anyone else.
Look at me. What you do is you go out there and you look before you throw the ball. You look and see where the defense is, and you see where our guys are. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Then you throw the ball to our guys.
And it was the best decision of their
It
lives.
wasn't a decision.
No one else could play Saracen.
It was an
I
act
don't know
of
what
God.
they were doing.
I was QB2. I've been QB2 the whole time, and then they got me on the show. They kept trying to get me rid of me. They brought in Voodoo. They brought in McCoy. Nobody wanted me there.
How's Saracen doing?
Saracen's doing fine. He's throwing like a girl, but he's doing fine.
Do you remember the first scene you have together?
I mean, in the pilot,
Well, there's the pilot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I like gave you a fist bump or something when you're in the hospital.
Play well, all right? Thanks.
It would have been when you started coming around to coach.
yeah, outside putting you through quarterback drills.
Toss your toes, ball high, go.
That was when we really started working together, like in earnest,
Yeah.
which I was stoked about because we were really good friends, but we weren't working together all that much. So, I mean, those scenes are basically just us giving each other shit, which is
it's
what we do all the time off camera. So that was fun.
Come on, Saracen, what they gonna do, huh? Bench you, start me. Look at Street, folks. He's on a tear. He's on it.
Seriously, look.
That's my all-time favorite
Yeah.
episode as far as like my favorite scene that I ever did on the show. It really is because it was me and Gaius and Taylor and Zach. It was the 4 Panthers. It was supposed to be this super team, and Jason Street's injury, created this whole different, universe. But then for one night, these 4 guys are together as a team one more time, and man, that was really special. And we really shot it overnight. Like we literally laid there around the Panther, the P in the middle of the field, and watched the sun come up. That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
There it is. Did you see it? Yes, you did.
We lucked into the fact that we all got along really well. And it also, which was kind of a weird, cool thing was, you start together, this is who we know, and you become closer to some people than others, and you sort of grow up and branch out, but you still have those people that you've all been through this experience with, and you both, they're really the only people who know what it's been like.
Yeah, I mean, we had a weekly flag football game that a lot of our cast and some of our crew, our doubles, our stunt guys, like we were playing it like it was every Saturday. You knew what you were doing at like 10 a.m. every Saturday, and we shot so fast that we had a lot of downtime, and we filled that together. It was like there were patches though where I was kind of isolated because Street had so many scenes by himself that I wouldn't work when everybody else was working. And then I'd go to work and I was by myself. So there's like little patches that kind of, I don't know, helped inform like Jason's journey too that I was able to use. But really, I mean, we went paintball, we had flag football, we'd go float the river. We would get together for dinner like pretty consistently. And then once we came back for season 2, Zach and I looked at each other, we're like, why should we both pay for our own place?
So we were
roommates in season 2 and 3,
Go finish your weights, finish your program, get your plays, meet me in the film room for lunch. And get used to that because we're gonna be having an awful lot of meals together.
You moved away, and then you said, you know what, buddy?
Oh,
I missed you. Let's get
missed
together.
you so much. Although he moved into my place away
I did.
from everyone else.
We kept the partying out of our place.
We had some, I guess we didn't a lot. We also, okay.
We had a lot of respect for each other.
Very
The common area was always clean.
Yeah, until you got a bunny.
Yeah, I did. I met a girl, my wife now.
I love
She had a
Kelsey,
rabbit.
but her rabbit, man. This thing chewed my remote controls. It pooped all over the place. Just because it's behind the couch doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Rest in peace, IHOP.
Trainer! And he's not moving. That was a heck of a hit when Street met Chandler, and he was the only one that could have stopped him from scoring what would have been a game-ending touchdown, basically, for Westerby.
The first 4 episodes of season 1 are incredibly sad, dark, the whole thing. I feel like you've got to sit with it for those first 4 episodes before the dam kind of finally breaks, and then some more successes start to come and people really start to grow and spin out. But it's the first 4, I'll never forget. We got an early copy of the pilot on a DVD from the agency, and I was with my family down in Florida. And my little brother was born when I was 18, so he was, whatever, at this point, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range. And we watched it And at the end, he's crying. And my mom is like, what's going on? What's going on, Brendan? He's like, Scotty died. I was like, no, I didn't. My character didn't die. And also, I'm here. I'm right here, bud. I didn't. He's like, why would I want to watch this? I'm like, you're completely right. You're completely right to have the reaction. But that's just what makes the show so great is like everybody kind of like gets through those first 4 and feels pretty deeply connected to everybody and everything that each character is up against. And then you get to climb together. It's pretty cool.
Right now, it's not really about who wins or loses, Father. We just all want to be with Street right now, God.
I mean, one of my favorite moments, period, was at the end of the pilot. Pete would always like host the dinner or bring us together. And he told a story about his journey from going from television to filmmaking and all the steps it took and the sacrifices he made. And he said, look, we may not get picked up to go to series. It doesn't matter. Don't ever look at something not like going further as an end. That's the death of everything. He's like, this is never the end. He goes, this show is not going to be 90210. Even if we get picked up to go to series, not every character is going to stick around. This show is about Dillon, Texas. If you're not there anymore, you know, you're going to be off the show. And Zach and I both experienced leaving the show before the show ended. But I didn't leave with my head hung low because Pete like had really like let us know early. He's like, you're going to come here. We're going to make something special. And when your time is up, it's not the end of anything. You have such a massive journey ahead of you. And he really empowered us. And I think if you look at our cast, like we all left that show and we kept working. Like everybody kept working. And I think he really played a big part, and at least for me, in like shaping how I approached the rest of my career. And so I took that with me everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I learned how to act on that show. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And I think...
Liar!
I didn't.
I feel like Carol Kane and Princess Bride here. Liar!
No, I mean, we all learned. It was like, I think there's so much I learned from experience on that show of like just having to be present and actually like reacting to what's happening in the scene, being in that character, like what would be authentic? What would this person actually do? And being prepared, because we were thrown curveballs all the time. So if you're trying to figure out what was on the page, you're already 3 steps behind. Like you need to know that so that you can forget that and do whatever's happening. And that's really benefited me a lot in my career. I learned how to be a person, a human on a set. I learned how to, I just became an adult recently, I feel like. But it was part of my adult journey.
He finally grew up. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that I learned that Zach just kind of talked about was like talking with Kyle Chandler or Connie. It's like they very simply said like it's not about the words, it's about your character. And as long as you know your character better than anybody else, like words are kind of secondary. And we had brilliant writers on our show, but the way that we shot, they would want us to do it as scripted maybe once, twice, and then they'd be like, okay, throw it all away and let's see what else there is. And you've got to do that from the basis of the character, because once the script is gone, you're like just trying to figure it out. Yeah. But we had already forged all these relationships because of, you know, the cast bond that we had, and then we just understood our characters. I feel like that's why a lot of that stuff worked.
I don't need any of your dad coach talk, so you feel free to just go home.
Zach had so many tough scenes. I watched as a fan because I didn't work with everybody, and I was just constantly blown away by this guy.
Oh, thanks.
The shower, the scene where Coach pushes you into the shower.
You have any idea? Your grandmother, your friends, your teammates, you better start making them. You better stop being so damn selfish and stop feeling sorry for yourself. You hear me?
Shut up! You don't care about me. You left me for a better job.
The sun.
I don't like hating people. But I just put all my hate on him so I don't have to hate anybody else, so that I can be a good person, you know?
I remember that one, the one when my dad died. Tony, one of our ADs, who became a really close friend of mine, because they'll get production drafts before we get them, and he called me. He's like, so Zach, I'm going to slip you a draft early because I just read it, and I don't know what you're going to do. You're like, I think you're a good actor, but you're going to have to drink your acting juice or something, because this is heavy.
That's all I want to say. I just want to tell him to his face I hate him. But he doesn't even have a face.
You're able to just lose yourself in these moments where, like, Kyle's such an amazing actor and is that person, and all those people, and you kind of can just lose yourself and like pretend you're in that situation, that person, and it just happens. And I feel like that's the way we shot that show. And because we had so much, like, directors off camera would yell like, do this, say that, and you're like, huh? It's like, just do it, because it's like in the moment, it's like, oh, this is what that character would actually do. And you had that freedom that you really knew what it felt like to be in their skin, and you knew how to authentically portray that.
So thank you for being here, my family. Thanks you.
It almost was like a cheat code on that show. I think everyone gave amazing performances because it was like, let's just do what feels real and not like act it.
Yeah. We went to New York for my final episode, and
I was so jealous.
That contained one of the toughest scenes that I ever had to do.
I cannot believe that I actually went into Grant's office and expected him to give me a job.
We went up there with certain permits to be able to shoot in certain places in New York, but the way we roll is just to be like, Jeffrey Reiner says, now we're gonna go shoot in Times Square. We're like, we don't have the permits, and it's live, like literally it's a Saturday night, and we're just in Times Square. And if you watch the scene where it's like Riggins and Street are rolling through Times Square, there are a pair of twins that we had as stand-ins and then background actors, and they're like behind us barricading everybody else who are just people that are in Times Square that are like, what are they shooting? What people are pointing at us in the background and everything. That was so fun.
That's brilliant, Riggs.
Do it.
So guess what we're doing tomorrow?
Right after Gypsy Night, then.
But the most difficult scene was the very last one between Riggins and Street.
I hope you get everything you want. But no matter what happens in there, you're always gonna be my best friend.
Taylor and I actually could not stop crying. It was like my last scene on the show, and it was weird to shoot it not in Austin and not be with like the whole crew. But Kitsch and I definitely were, we couldn't even start the scene. We're like, no, we got it. Oh, God. We're like, cut. Jeez, can you guys get it together?
Texas forever.
Texas forever.
But it was fun, man. This show was so special. I got to learn a whole new sport. I got to play quad rugby, dude. That was awesome, with a gold medal Paralympic coach and Coach James Gumbert. So like, there was challenges, there was rewards. The show had everything for us as actors.
Julie Taylor. Will you marry me?
I know there were some storylines that didn't always go over super well with fans. When you look back on that, what do you think about that? Or what did you think when you found out it was happening?
I think they're a little young to be getting married, but you know, they're from Texas.
That's the storyline you...
It's the one she pitched me. Okay, there's Murdergate.
I picked up a pipe that was on the ground and I ran over. I hit him twice in the head as hard as I could.
We're so lucky to have had Jesse and Annie doing that storyline, because like while watching it, I was like, this story's terrible, but their acting is so good. God, like I'm with it.
I'm gonna call my dad. My dad is a cop. He knows how to. He's a cop who knows what it.
But this story is so stupid.
That's how you knew that Jesse would be nominated for an Oscar one day.
Yeah, basically.
Took the murder and did the most with it. No, I think, you know, a lot of times when you're working on a show, especially one that we had lower ratings in season 1, and they brought us back, but they wanted to do something to shake it up. And I think the powers that be really forcefully wanted, let's make it more sexy, let's make it murder and this and that and whatever. And then, like, you know, our writers did, you know,
they tried
and they're brilliant. Our writers are so good. But when
at what they do,
you have some things like foisted upon you, you got to kind of like work with it. And that's the other thing about our show. Like every single new character you read, you were like, what amazing actor is going to walk through the door to play this role? Like just murderer's row of like the greatest actors I've ever worked with. And they'd be in like 1 or 2 episodes. And then they'd be on their way. People wanted to work on the show. We were so lucky to have that happen. So, you know, storylines be damned. It's like the overall product of the show is top notch, and I, you know, just very fortunate to have been a part of it.
See you in my dreams, okay?
I love you.
I love you too, okay?
You mentioned your on-screen grandma. Tell me a little bit about how you built up that relationship in real life.
It just happened. I mean, I just was naturally kind of protective over her on set. Not that she needed it. She was probably like 62 when we shot the pilot, maybe a little older. But I just loved her. She lived in Dallas, and when she'd come down to do episodes, she'd bring newspaper clippings of articles that I was mentioned in. And they were such intimate scenes and such an intimate relationship. And it just very organically became that. Like, she sends my kids presents on their birthdays. I'll never forget, I haven't seen her in several years. The last time I saw her, and we hadn't seen each other in several years after that. We were at a hotel in Austin for like the TV festival, and I was getting out of an elevator, and she was in the lobby, and we like saw each other. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea, and we both like started crying and holding each other and be like, I missed you, how are you?
You are such a good boy.
Well, it's because I was raised by you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And she's just awesome. Like, she's just such a cool woman and so sweet. And it's like, she just has my back. And I know if I was having some life stuff, I could call her and she'd be there for me in any capacity I need her.
You, I adore.
I just saw her recently at a memorial. We lost one of the pillars of Friday Night Lights, Michael Waxman, not too long ago. And a lot of us were able to get together and celebrate his life. And that relationship, that deep of a relationship that Zach is talking about, we had with our crew, with our fellow cast members. And I walked in that door and I remember every single person's name that we worked with on that show, which I can't always say because crews are massive. It's like hundreds of people. And sometimes you're just on a show for 3 or 4 episodes and like you want to remember everybody, but then you're right back into the grind of like trying to get to the next thing. But we'll never forget each other. Yeah. And Luann was there and she had her scrapbook that's got all these articles you're talking about. This thing is like a tome. This is like a 400-page, like, it's not a scrapbook. It is the history of FNL, and she is just a special, special woman.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
The blessing and the curse of everybody working is everybody's working, but the curse of it is like, we're never in the same place at the same time. I saw Connie recently, we caught up. I saw Annie Palicki down in Austin. We got to catch up while we were on strike. I walked the line a couple of times with Jesse and got to catch up with him. And, you know, sometimes I'll get lunch with Gaius when he's in town and not shooting The Walking Dead. I mean, it's just like everybody's working. I shoot my show in Toronto. So, you know, I know that when I see somebody from the show, it's going to be exactly what he was talking about with Luann. Like, oh my God, it's going to be a moment. Like, it's going to, you know, we're going to embrace and we're going to just, you know, immediately takes us back to that time. And it's pretty dang good.
Yeah, it's hard to make it all work and coordinate. But yeah, anyone you run into, you're really close with, you know, different people you keep up via text a little more or whatever. And then if it works out, you're both in town a little bit and then you make that effort and you hit the more regular, like, oh, we see each other. But yeah, I think everyone just like cares about each other so much. And anytime I see something exciting professionally about one of us, I send a text or just I'm like, oh man, that's so awesome. I'm so happy for them.
Oh, you gotta admire the courage of young Matt Saracen. This quarterback has really played hard with a lot of heart.
Read your defenses. Come on, Saracen.
My favorite is everyone gets my name wrong. Like the other day, I met someone through like a work thing from a friend of mine. I was like, he kept looking at me like, I could tell he was trying to figure it out. And then we left and he came out, he's like, Matt Saracen. And I was like, I think I know what you mean. It's always like Sorensen.
Oh,
Sorensen all the time. Like, I'm just like
striker for
like,
Denmark's national soccer
show
team.
ever. I'm like, you love it so much, you know the character name? I don't care. It's kind of funny, but I get on every set I'm on, a crew member will like, okay, so anyway, Matt, then you're gonna walk over there. I'm like, and I just like go with it. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Zach. Like my character name on the show is not Matt. It's like they try to play it cool the whole time, and I'm like, it's fine. I respond to Matt now. It's fine.
Just happens. Happens. The thing is like I'm just so glad and feel so fortunate people like love the show the way that they do.
And here are your Dillon Panthers.
It seems like with that fan base especially, like everybody's got such a special connection to the show because they watched it with someone they really care about, or there was a moment in the show that they have experienced something similar, and they just feel like they grew up in a town like Dillon or whatever that is. And I mean, it feels like a show that gets handed down generationally, and there's like I talk to, 16-year-olds who have just started watching Friday Night Lights, and they still feel the same about it as people did almost 20 years ago, which is, it's crazy to me. I just feel so honored and lucky to have been a part of a show that has that kind of
staying power.
Yeah, staying power, for sure.
I think it's just that it feels authentic. It rings true. I think shooting the style we did, that kind of documentary style, helps. You just get sucked in, and there's things that we all have gone through in some version of while growing up or in whatever town we grew up in. It's just relatable, and seeing that on screen and not portrayed in an escapist way was, I think it just connects with people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to It's Not Only Football, Friday Night Lights and Beyond. Somebody came to me and they were like, hey, we're very interested in a Friday Night Lights rewatch, and we would love if you would be the one that would want to host it. And they're like, who would you want to call from the show? And there was two people, and it was Zach and it was Gaius. That were my first calls. And Zach said yes, and Gaius said no, and off we went. No, seriously though, it's like there was nobody I would rather have done it with, because our connection offset was fantastic, but our experience on set was so completely different that we covered much different areas of the experience of shooting Friday Night Lights. And I felt like we had kind of dueling perspectives, and we have different personalities, which I think you need to have like a successful podcast. So
yeah, then somehow May weaseled her way in there.
No, they literally told us we need one more element. The two of you aren't going to sell well.
So I'm here to keep these two in check.
Yep.
No, that's not what happened. I know what happened. We were talking about our idea. We are like, yeah, and then we'll have like guests on. We'll have like, we could have like May, who's like a super fan, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, that'd be so. What if May was the third host? And we're like, sure, I don't care. Whatever, great. I love May.
So you got an all-American roster here, 6-7 in May. Zach, you and Scott aren't enough. We need one more piece. All right, May, come on, May. All right, here we go.
It was fun, though. Who put it perfectly? I just told someone earlier, they were like, at one point it was like, Scott's the dad, May's like the baby of the family, and Zach's like the petulant teenager.
The too cool for school teenager.
Just, I'm jaded. I already said it, okay? I own it. I'm working on it.
Coach, I need your captains, please.
Captains! Saracen, quarterback's captain.
I didn't think I was expecting how well it would hold up. Not that I wasn't expecting it to, but watching, I was like, this is good. Like, I'm proud of this. Because I literally had only watched it when they aired.
I was the same exact way. Like DVR had just come out. It was like the new technology.
Wow.
But I was so disconnected from most of them as a cast, like as we went on into season 1 and then further into the show, that I was watching as like a fan. Like just these incredible performances, episode in and episode out, and it didn't matter who was the focal point. I mean, because we have a massive cast. So I watched as a fan, but I watched it once and I never went back. And Zach was the same way. So doing the rewatch was really, it wasn't eye-opening because we all knew, but it was nice to see them all again.
To Mr. and Mrs. Saracen. Cheers, guys. Congratulations.
I just thought you'd be the first person to say that.
I tried showing it to my kids just out of like, they're
For
like,
context, how old are your kids?
Yeah, no, they're 7 and he was 4.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do you guys want to, like, I'm like, do you have any concept of what daddy does? Like, you've come to work, you don't seem to get it. Here, I'll show you something. I'm like, oh, it's me being nice to my grandma. And they're just like, this is boring. And I'm like, yeah, but look, it's dad. They're like, why are you pretending that woman's your grandmother? I'm like, because that's what I do. I pretend. And they're like, but that's not grandma.
Hands off my tapioca, Matthew.
Yes, man.
And I'm like, no, I know I'm playing you play make-believe. And they're like, can we watch cartoons?
Yeah,
can we watch something else, please?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think my son's got a couple years before. I think once he's in middle school and the conversations that kids are going to be having in middle school, might as well watch something like Friday Night Lights with them so I can have some of those conversations just based off of, what you see in the show. And I think that's when it'll happen. But my son's 10, my daughter's 8. They don't really get it. I was on a different show called Heart of Dixie that has, a lot quirkier, more funny kind of light stuff that I think is the place I would probably start with them.
Yeah, like I watch Criminal Minds with them and they get it. They love it. They're like, Daddy, I don't understand why you killed all those people. I'm like, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They've never proven anything.
It's important for you to remember.
You need to
innocent
understand,
until
you need to know the word
proven.
allegedly.
Proven guilty.
How you doing? Sorry I'm late. Hey, looking good.
Hey,
You're looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where do you think your characters are today?
I have no idea.
I always know.
You got married.
I did.
You got married and you don't tell me about it.
Jason Street kind of, he won.
I also got a promotion this year. I'm a big-time, full-fledged agent now.
He got out of Dillon when nobody said he would. He became a sports agent. He's successful.
Not too bad, though, huh?
No, it's not
One of your former proteges?
Hey.
And, his wife, everyone told him that, he probably wouldn't get married. He probably wouldn't have kids. And he has one. And I think right now Jason Street is very excited about NIL, name and image and likeness contracts for college, because he knows high school football. He's finding these kids early now. He's gonna get NIL deals before they go into college, man. Jason Street, woo! He's living the big life.
All figured out.
Yeah, he does.
Saracen is not an artist. I don't know if you saw his art. Wasn't going anywhere.
Is that because it was your art, or?
I didn't make it. No shade at the props people. I don't know. I really have no idea. I think him and Julie are probably fine. Okay, everyone. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the cool thing about the two of them is it was like, you don't really know what they're gonna do. They're not on like a clear path. And I think that is ultimately the connection they always had, was not just wanting to get out, but just like really understanding they don't know who they are, and supporting each other in that.
Is there a world in which you would ever want to step back into the character roles?
I mean, sure, why not? I don't really care. As long as I'd always said, like, if it makes sense. Like, I mean, that, as I've said, the point that what made our show good was it was authentic. Nothing was too contrived. So if, Matt Saracen randomly wanders into this other town that has football stuff going on, it's a little lame. But, if they came up with some good reason, sure, why not? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to work with those people again.
Yeah.
That's plain and simple. Like, it would be a selfish thing that I would want to work with them again. I've still got my Friday Night Lights chair back. I'm a nostalgic individual. I'll go, take it out of the frame off the wall and take it back to work.